Welcome back to our Ruched YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful dress. Okay, it's a backless dress. You can see it has a gather ruffle at the neckline area. It's a free dress, very playful. This is what it looks like on the armhole area, and then on the back, it is backless. It just has this rope that is used to tie it to the neck, and it has an elastic here, which makes it adjustable. So this dress is very simple to make. I'm going to take you through how I cut and sew this, and I use just 2.5 yards of fabric for this. Okay, the length of the fabric is by 45, and I was able to get this floor length with 2.5 yards. This is something you like to learn. Kindly stay tuned to the end of this. So there are several ways you can cut this, but bear in mind that this is a full length dress. If it's to be the short version, you can easily fold into flare and you will not use so much fabric. But in order to save fabric, I'm using adire. By the way, this is an adire fabric, and it does not have a true right or wrong size, so please bear with me, but just work with me, you will understand what I'm doing. So this address is about 4 yards, and I'm going to be cutting this in form of an A line. You can also cut it in a straight form, then you use your hand to indicate the A line, or if you want it to be straight, it can also be straight. But I just like to fold A line like this, so that once I'm cutting, I will know the lines that I'm going to cut through. So this is the fabric the way it is, okay, without folding. So when you are folding on bias, what you simply do is to fold like you are folding in form of a triangle, but it's not going to be full. It's not going to be a total triangle like you're folding a, like you fold your flare. I'm going to be illustrating everything I'm doing with this paper. So let's say this is my fabric. What I have simply done is to fold in a bias like this. Okay, I hope you can see it. Remember, it is straight like this. Then once you fold like this, you are folding in bias, so you are going to be following this new angle. You will see that this will just automatically form like an A line for you. So if you don't want to do like this, you can also fold it in form of a straight line. Then you are going to create your A line yourself. So whichever one you want to work with is fine. So this is my bias. So the first thing I will do now is to measure the full length that I want for this. So it's like an half shoulder. So depending on how half you want to go, but for me, I'm going to be going like 4 inch off like this. So the full length I'm working with is 54. The person is not tall, so I'm working with a full length of 54. I'm going to add 2 inches to 54 for seam allowance, and that's going to leave me with 56. So what I will do is to simply remove 56 from this 54, and then I'll have 52. So I'll measure out 52 from this first, so that it's not going to be too long. So you're going to rule your starting point, and then from there you are going to mark the 52. Once you have your starting point here, you're going to go ahead and measure like your neckline. Okay, so the neckline is going to be a little bit gathered, so you're not going to use your actual neckline measurement. So as a reference, I'm just going to use the back. There's a shoulder of the person. So the shoulder of this person is 16 inches. Divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches. Remember, this is folded into two, and we are cutting the front first. So now I'm going to come to this starting point here and mark that 8 inches. So it's going to be a little excess. There's going to be a little excess. The neckline should not be, if you are working with an actual off shoulder, should be around 4, 5 or 6 inches. But you can see that we are working with 8 inches here. You can even add excess to it if you want it to be a little, if you want the gather to be more. So let's say I'm adding 2 inches to it, and then I'm going to have it like this. So all together now I'm marking 10 inches on the neckline area, so that the excess that I have is going to be gathered. So once you have that, the next thing is to mark your neckline. If you are going to be working with your actual bodice, remember, you go off by whatever you mark from here. You need to go off by the 4 inches that we removed. So your actual neckline should be around maybe 8 or 9 inches. But for this, it's going to be a backless bodice. The back does not have anything. There's nothing on the back. The back is going to be starting from the waistline, and you know you need to sew the front and back together. So for you to be able to connect them together, the neckline, the armhole of this one has to stop where the back is going to start, so that you'll be able to sew them together. So the waist I'm working with for this person is 16 inches. So that is where my armhole is going to stop. So here I'm just going to come here and mark 16 inches. So once you mark 16 inches, the next thing is to connect from where your neckline stops, which is this mark, to the 16 inches, which is your new mark. So you connect it in form of like you're creating your armhole. You can use your free hand. I'm just using this cuff because I have it. So this is what this looks like. This is what my armhole looks like now. So now that I have this, and I already folded my fabric on bias, you can see the line that I'm going to follow is already there. So I'll just simply cut this out. But if your fabric is folded into straight from there, you need to decide how you are going to shape it, whether it is going to be straight or it's going to be on flare, just like my own. So now that I have this, I'm going to create a casing. For you can either cut your casing together or you cut it separately and sew. But for me, I'll just cut it together with my fabric so that once I have this, I'll just fold it to create the casing. So for the casing, I'm going to come up here by 1 inch or 1.5 inches for my casing, and then I'm going to connect it. So this is going to be the casing that my rope is going to pass through. So now I will go ahead and cut this out and use this to cut the back as well. I have cut the bodies. Okay, I've cut the hem, and this is what I have. You can see that it's an A-line shape. So now the next thing is to cut the back. But remember that we said the back is going to be some of like a backless bodies, which means from where this waistline stops, from where this armhole stops, which is our waistline, is not going to be part of the back. So we can use the back to cut the front. What you simply need to do now is to fold this inwards. From you can see where the waistline is, you are going to fold that part inwards like this, and this is the shape that you're going to have for your back. It's just going to be this. Okay, the upper part which we have folded inward is not going to be there. So you just need to fold your fabric again, and then you place it on it like this and cut the back. So when you're cutting the back, what you just need to do now is to add maybe 1 inch or 1.5, just like you did for the front, so that you can fold the casing to put elastic. I've folded it in just like I explained. You can see I used pin to hold it on the waistline, and then I placed it. I folded my fabric on bias again. You can see where it stopped. It's the same bias fold, and then I placed it on it. So it's going to be the same because we folded it the same way. So the only thing you need to do to this is to just add a 1 or 1.5 inch for casing, whatever you want to use for casing. So once you had that, you just cut out exactly what you have on your front. Once you cut that out, that is all you need to cut for this dress. It's very simple to make, and this way you will also be able to manage fabric if you cut it this way. So you just cut, and then you go ahead and sew. I'm done cutting it now, and this is my front and this is my back. So what you're going to do now is to take it to your sewing machine now, and then you're going to fold it. Okay, remember that allowance that you had there, that 1.5 inches. I'll fold like this by the 1.5, and then I'm just going to fold in maybe 1/2 inch inwards like this. If you don't need up to 1.5, depending on the size of elastic you are working with basically. So I'm just going to fold mine twice like this, and then I'm going to run a stitch there. So I'll do the same thing for the front. I'm going to take out the pins that I used to hold it, and then I'll do it. Just you can see the allowance. So I'm going to fold it on the allowance here, and then I'm going to fold in the extra that I have. So go ahead and run those stitches now. So I've gone ahead to do that. So I forgot to mention that for the front, before you create your casing, please, you will need to hem the armhole. Okay, you can either use bias or you fold. For me, I folded it twice, so I'll go ahead and iron it flat. So this is what my armhole looks like now. It is neatly hemmed. So after hemming your armhole, that is when you're going to create the casing. The reason is because if you create casing before hemming armhole, you will not have this space to pass your rope through. It's going to close it up. You can see if you create this casing, then you hem the armhole, it's going to close that part up. So please remember that. And then for the back as well, I've gone ahead to create my casing. So if you're going to be adding your label to it, just like I have done for mine, you make sure that you had it neatly. You can see that it is not showing on the other side. So now what you need to do now is to pass your elastic through the back. If you have a white elastic, you can use it. This is what I have, so this is what I'm going to be using. So to know the measurements you will need for your elastic, remember this part is the waistline. So the waist that I'm working with here is 34 inches. So for a waist 34, the elastic is going to be at the back, so which means it's half of the waist that we are working with. So 35 divided by 2 is 17. So for it to gather very well, I'm not going to use this 17 inches. You can maybe deduct maybe 10 inches from it, or you can also divide this 17 into 2. We divide it into 2, we have it and half. So I can add 1 inch to that and make it 9 or even 10 inches. So I'll take this elastic now. You don't want the elastic to be too big. Remember, it's on the almost at the bum area. You don't want it to be too low so that the bum will not be showing outside. So from this elastic now, I'm going to measure out 10 inches, and then I'm going to pass it through that channel. So you can see I have 10 inches here. I'm going to measure that, and then I'm going to pass it through the channel. So this is the elastic I'm working with. You can use your safety pin to pass it, but I have this elasticator, so that's what I'm going to be using. So once it's hold it for me like this, I'm going to go ahead and pass it through that channel that we created. So once you pass it, you are going to hold it with your stitch on the two ends so that it does not go inside. So once you do that, we'll go ahead and sew the front and back together. I have passed the elastic, and you can see, so you just hold it on the two ends so you can see how it stretches. So this is what the back is going to look like. So now the next thing is to lay the front and back on each other. Remember, the sewing is going to start where your armhole stops, which is here. So you're going to lay them on each other now, and then you go ahead and sew. I normally sew with French seam, so that is what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and join the two sides together, and then I'll hem it on the lower part, then come back and fix my rope on the neckline. You can see now that I have gone ahead to sew it. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You can see that it is neat. This is the side, this is the second side, and this is the elastic part, which is the back. So I also hemmed it. This is what it looks like on the hemline now, and this is the neckline. So I'm going to turn it to the right side, and this is what we have. So the last thing to do now is to pass your rope. So you go ahead and make a rope. The rope should be as long as you want. Remember, the front is like this, so the rope is what is going to gather it. So I've already made mine just like I did for the elastic. I'm going to use this to pass my rope again. So once it holds it like this, you put it inside the channel that you created, and then you bring it out from the other end. So this rope now is what is going to control it. You're going to use it anyhow you desire. It is as simple as that. It's very simple to make. My rope is quite long, so if I feel it's too long, I can still cut it off. So I have passed the rope, and this is what I have now. So you are going to use your rope to gather it. I'm going to take it to the mannequin now so that we can see what this looks like. For basically, the rope is going to gather it for you like this on the neckline. Anyhow you want it, you can see. So this is what the neckline is going to look like now. So you tie this to your back, to your neck, and then this is what we're going to have on the back. So this is what it looks like on the mannequin. You can see how beautiful and how well gathered this part is. So if you want it to be more gathered, you just need to add a little bit more to your shoulder measurement, and if you want it less, you just reduce it. So this is what the front looks like. You can see how beautiful it is looking, and you can see that the armhole covers the bust very well, so there is no way your bust is going to be exposed with this method. And this is what it looks like on the back. So you can see this back has elastic, and and it's gathering it to where the bum is. So you need to get your waistline measurements right. Once you get it right, you are not going to have any issue. So this rope can be as long as you want. I hope you enjoy making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed this, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.